Hello, how you doing? So, I've not been on here in a wee while because I've had a couple of things to think about, right? But firstly, let me just kind of get a few things out of the way. If you don't know me, my name's Bradleywalkr. I'm an online coach from Glasgow. So there's something I need to address, right? And that's basically I'm going to be putting an end to the Ibiza bod cutting series. If you didn't know, I was doing a series, basically me showing you how I get lean, teaching you along the way how I get lean, what I do, training I do, diet I do, etc, to go and get as shredded as possible. Because I was planning on trying to be away on holiday somewhere this year, but right now in the kind of UK, Scotland and that, I don't know whether or not we're going to be able to get away, just because I've seen a few articles and stuff like that online saying there's going to be fines and that going out, and to be honest, I don't fucking believe the newspapers anyway, until like the Prime Minister or whatever announces it. I don't usually take it certain, but I just don't want to kind of go and do this big harsh cut. I don't want to go and try and get really lean for like no reason at all, if you get me. So I decided to put an end to the kind of Ibiza bod cutting series. So I am of course a bit gutted about that, and again I do kind of feel optimistic that there's going to be some way that we get on holiday this year, right? I can feel it in my bones. Me personally, I want to get out of this country as fast as I can and just probably never come back. But I'm needing some sun in my life. But anyway, don't know if it'll work out in the summer or no, right? So again, I don't want to get super lean for no reason whatsoever, not to sit in fucking Scotland where I need to wear a t-shirt most of the time anyway. So I have been quite gutted about the fact, because I did feel in a very good place and I was making really good progress, kind of starting so early and good calories and stuff like that. So I've been gutted about that, and I've been trying to think kind of what I can do. So that's how I've kind of been away for the last week, I believe. Just trying to think to myself, right, if I can't do this cutting series, what can I do? Because I really want to kind of continue on again, as I've said, but I do want to obviously continue on the YouTube thing because I kind of want to educate you as much as I can. So I was kind of thinking to myself, what can I do? And then it kind of came to me. So there is no 100% plans for going away for summer, but on the upside, there is a date that's coming up that's 100% guaranteed, I know for sure, and that is the 26th of April. And that is when gyms open up in Scotland again, okay? So down in England, it's the 12th of April. Scotland, for some reason, are 2 weeks behind. Don't know why, but anyway, that's what we are. So I've decided what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a cutting series from when I started, because I'm still continuing the diet right now, until the gym's open. And I guess this would be the kind of countdown to gym's open cut. Don't quite have a name for it, and don't even think I'm going to kind of make a series out of it at all. I just feel there's no point in making a series for it, but I will still document the progress I can make, because there's a couple of interesting things that will happen from this period, from getting lean to the gym's opening to then what will happen with my physique. So this is what I think will happen, okay? So last time out of lockdown, right, I done the exact same thing, right, but I never shared it with anybody. So what I basically done was, for the lead up to the gym's opening, I went into a diet, and what I basically done was trying to strip away as much body fat as I can while I'm at home, because I feel the limitations you have at home, there's only so much muscle you can go and build, there's only so much progress you can make in the house, which is probably very minimal depending on what equipment you have. So I had basically decided to go into a kind of dieting phase, right? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to diet down to the gym's open, and then once the gym's open, I'll then kind of up my calories a bit again, right? And what I feel will happen is I'll have kind of what I like to call the rebound effect. And what that basically means, right, is, see, when you go from training at home with your bands, limited weights, whatever, right, your muscles, if they do grow, that's good, right, but your muscles basically lack proper stimulus to go and make some radical changes to your physique, right? Whereas the gym gives you all these different machines, multiple different weights, and a ton of different aspects you can go and use just because it's so well equipped. So basically your muscles have more stimulus to go and grow, right? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to diet down until the gym's open, and then once the gym's open, I'll up my calories a wee bit, and I'll go into like a new kind of training phase, using obviously all the equipment in the gym and stuff like that. And what I think will happen is I think I'll regain a lot of muscle mass very quickly. So I don't think I've dropped much, if any, muscle mass, but I do feel I have lost a little bit of size, kind of just little specific areas, you know what I mean, that are hard to hit at home. So what I feel is going to happen is, once I start hitting the weights for maybe a week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, is my physique's going to radically change, right? It did last time. Got into the best shape I ever did, because I was really lean, but then I was also packing on muscle mass at the same time while I was really lean, and it just made my physique look crazy, in my personal opinion, right? So that's what I feel is going to happen. But I reckon kind of within 2 weeks of the gym's opening, I'll regain, not everything, but a lot of size. Maybe a month or 2 months down the line, I'll gain a shit ton of size, right? So the real reason I'm doing this, right, there's kind of two main reasons why I'm doing it. So the first one is, before I go and start trying to build more muscle mass again, I want to get a bit leaner, just because I prefer to build at a leaner body fat. I don't want to be I don't want to have a high body fat while I'm building muscle. I don't care about just looking big. I want to look big and well structured as well. It's not just about being massive for me, it's about having a great kind of looking physique, if you will. So I think if I diet down right now, well, the potential to grow muscle is limited, and get lean, because let's face it, you can lose body fat anyway, then it'll kind of put me in a good position to then start building from, because I'll be really lean to build the muscle in. Also, because I work in the gym and I'm a PT, my activity level will go right through the roof, so I'll be burning even more calories. So then the amount of fat I'm going to gain while I'm in that gaining phase is going to be very limited, especially for the first 2-3 months, while I'm regaining a lot of muscle mass back. So that's the sort of plan. I want to basically put myself in a good position to go into like a kind of gaining phase again for a while. And you never know, if maybe a holiday or whatever crops up, somehow, some way we get allowed out of the country, or maybe just continue in that deficit. But that's the sort of plan for then, right? But as well as saying that, I also just kind of want to get lean for content on social media, right? So a big part of my job is posting fucking pictures onto social media, onto Instagram mainly, and videos on YouTube, right? And the content tends to look a lot better when you're lean, because you can just see much more lines and muscles look bigger and all that sort of stuff, right? So it's kind of a stupid reason, but I'm also doing that to get lean for content, because in the house I've lacked the right kind of atmosphere and environment to go and get really, really good content. Just as in regards to pictures of your physique. So I want to be in the best position I can and make the most of the gyms as I can when they first open back up, because I don't know how long they're going to be open for, so I need to get a shit ton of content. So if they shut again, I've got tons of good content. So that's the kind of reasons why. So mainly to give myself a good position to go and build from, but also to get some fucking naughty pictures essentially, right? So I'm going to just kind of tell you what I'm doing, right? So when I first started my dieting phase, I believe it was the start of May, I think it was, the start of March. So we're a month into the cut, exactly 30 days, right? I'm down something like, so I started at 182 pounds, I'm down at 176. So what's that, about 6 pounds? 6 pounds I'm down, so I'm down 6 pounds in a month, right? What I started off with, so my kind of maintenance roughly right now is about 3,000 calories-ish. I'm quite tall, I'm very active, train a lot. Got some muscles as well, obviously. But I started off the diet in a calorie deficit of 2,700, and then after 1 week I actually moved up to 2,800, and I was continuing on in that for a good while, for about 3 weeks. 3 weeks. 3 weeks I was in that for, and I dropped down about 3 pounds-ish. And I was kind of going good at that rate, and I was going to continue at that rate because I wanted to keep as much size as I possibly could while getting leaner, and that would be the approach I would usually go for, a less harsh deficit. So it was about a 300 to 200 calorie deficit, kind of depending on what calories you're comparing that to. But now that I've kind of thought through what I'm going to do, as of Monday just there, it's a Wednesday right now, I changed down to 2,500 calories. So I'm now in a 500 calorie deficit. Now that is a big deficit, and I wouldn't always recommend going into that big deficit, but the reason I went into that is because I know this is going to be a very short term cut. So I know I'm not going to get super shredded, but I'm going to chip away at quite a good amount of fat and lose a very little amount of muscle in the next 26 days essentially, you know what I mean? So that's kind of my thought process behind it. So I'm on 2,500 calories right now. Now again, if you're maybe wanting to go into a kind of a mini cut or whatever you want to call it, you can go into a harsher deficit, but if you're doing it for the long term, I definitely recommend you stick at definitely a smaller deficit. So it's just so much easier to stick to your diet too, and you maintain a shit ton more muscle mass. So I'll probably notice a little bit of muscle mass drop, but again, because when I go back to the gym and I've got that rebound effect, I'll gain back that muscle mass very, very, very quickly. So I'm not too worried about that. The macros I'll also be on right now is, I'll just tell you, so I just kind of usually do it in MyFitnessPal. So protein to start with, I usually make sure I'm over 1 gram per pound of body weight. So again, I'm 176. Right now I'm sitting at, let me just tell you, my MyFitnessPal, go to in it right now. So I usually just kind of walk off MyFitnessPal and I kind of have my minimum. So I always aim for my 2,500 calories, be within that, plus or minus 50 calories. Then my macros are, so in MyFitnessPal, my goal protein is 188. So I won't always hit that. I'll usually cap it off about 180. If I go a wee bit over, I go a wee bit over, and I'll try and not drop below 165. My carbs are about 280 and my fat's at 69 grams as well. So that's my kind of macros when I'm starting at right now. I'm 6'1", again I'm 176 pounds, and got a fair bit of muscle. Kidding on, I fucking wish I did. So that's what I'll go at, and then maybe in 2 weeks time, 2 weeks before the gym's open, I'll actually drop my calories down a wee bit again. Again, the main reason is I don't need to there, but I'm just trying to chip away quite quickly at the body fat I've got. Now again, if you're doing this to try and get shredded, don't do it because you'll drop some muscle mass, but I've explained my reasons why I'm doing that. So I'll probably keep at these calories for 2 weeks, then drop down another 300 again, just to kind of squeeze out as much fat burning as I possibly can, because it's just a small period of time. Then when the gyms open back up, the day they open back up, I'll up my calories to probably about 2,800, because the amount of steps I do in a day in the gym's at 15,000. So I know for a fact I'll be burning any calories, right? And that's going to kind of put me in a really, really great place, because I'll still be in a deficit, but I'll be eating more calories, so my body will just fucking pump a shit ton of that into building muscle. And I'm really interested to see how it goes with documenting this, because I've got good pictures for when I started, and it's going to be interesting to see how much my physique transforms in that kind of period of time. I'll probably post my physique in the next video that comes up, just so I've kind of got a reference point from where it is. So that is exactly why I'll up my calories. So the last thing I kind of want to talk about is what I'm expecting to happen for this. What I'm expecting to happen is my physique to radically transform. I'm expecting to gain a lot of muscle mass within 2 or 3 weeks of the gym's opening, and I'm expecting to drop a good bit of body fat just before we go. So percentage wise, I can't really guess, because it's just, I guess, a random number. But I'm probably expecting to be about 4 to 5 pounds down in the next month, which again is a lot to drop in a short period of time. But I just kind of think that's where I'm roughly going to be at, and I'm interested to see how my physique looks around about then. So let's say I'll be roughly about 170 pounds ish, and that's what I'm sort of expecting what's happening. So kind of last thing I want to say is, if you are kind of enjoying that shredding series, I'm really sorry about that. I just thought it wouldn't be worth it continuing it on for the sake of just doing it. Know what I mean? I don't know. I just keep doing it just for the sake of fucking YouTube. Know what I mean? So that's what I'm doing. I will still be putting out information on kind of what I'm doing dieting wise, and I'm still going to kind of document how my physique transforms in this sort of period of time. So if you have any questions on anything to do with kind of getting shredded or building muscle mass, please let me know. Post them down below in the comments. I'll be glad to answer them. I will be bringing out some informative videos, and kind of counting down until the gym's open. As well as that, well, if you follow me on Instagram, you'll probably see this by the time this comes out, but I'm going to also be hosting a countdown to the gym's open free group on Facebook, basically showing people what to do. And as well as that, I'm going to post a free workout into there for when the gym's open back up, just to make sure you're nice and prepared for when the gym's open, and it's going to put you in a perfect position to go and start gaining a shit ton of muscle mass, and basically make sure you don't get fucked before you get into the gym, because if you jump into the gym and just go and start training where you were at before lockdown, you'll most likely injure yourself, right? But anyway, keep your eyes peeled for that if you follow me on social media. I don't have a name for it yet, but anyway, I'm going to end the video here. There'll be another video coming out very, very soon, but I just kind of wanted to get this one out here just to kind of address this issue, if you will. But thank you again for watching. If you enjoyed it, please make sure to like, subscribe, and if you have any questions whatsoever, comment them down below and I'll be glad to help you out. Bye bye.